Hello everyone, welcome into another episode of Matt Sports Talk, and in this video we are going to be recapping the Crossroads League Tournament Championship game from last night, at least on the women's side. Now coming up tomorrow, it could be a very busy day for me tomorrow because we'll have the Crossroads League Tournament men's game to recap tomorrow, and we also will have, I believe, the final ARC and quad records are coming out tomorrow, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. It depends on if that's posted tomorrow. It might not be, but make sure that you, again, stay tuned for that. And I know the updated RPIs are supposed to be out today. I'm hoping they are posted within the next little bit. I don't know exactly when they're going to be posted today. That maybe they're not going to post until tomorrow. Maybe it won't be until later this afternoon. If it's not until later this afternoon, then I will be going over all of that for sure tomorrow, as well as recapping the Crossroads League Tournament men's game and that tournament championship game tonight. So for sure we'll have the men's championship Crossroads League Tournament championship game to recap tomorrow, and potentially going over the final RPI numbers on the women's side as well tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly how all that's going to play out right at the moment, but I do know for sure that we will have the recap of the men's tournament championship game tomorrow. And then on Thursday, I probably will wait until Thursday, early Thursday afternoon, to record a final video going over or making my final predictions based off of the final RPI, ARC, and quad numbers. So again, make sure that you stay tuned for that. And also on Thursday, I'm going to do something quite different in terms of the way I have planned for that episode to be. And this is my first year in doing it, and I think I will be doing it every year moving forward. As, of course, my brother also helps me out with this. And what we decided to do was we decided that we would write down all the teams in the NAIA that received automatic bids into the NAIA National Tournament. We also wrote down all the teams that for sure are going to get at-large bids in all the other conferences, and we also wrote down all the teams that would be on the bubble to receive at-large bids. And not just that, but we also wrote down, generally speaking, what seed line we think all of the teams that for sure will be in via auto bids or at-large bids, and also those on the bubble. If certain bubble teams get in, we both wrote down generally what seed line all of them would be on. Again, what seed line all the at-large teams would be for sure. Also, what seed line the potential at-large teams would be, and then what seed line all the automatic bids, or the automatic qualifiers, I have to say, what seed line they will be on. So again, we definitely experimented with it, and we definitely we decided to do that. And I brought up that idea to him, and my brother agreed, and so he helped me do that in terms of of doing that. So I think I'm definitely gonna do that every single year moving forward, because I think it would be a very, very helpful piece of information to you. It definitely would help you better understand roughly along what seed lines all of the teams will be, and especially for those hosting, at least for the schools hosting, generally speaking, what seed lines should they be on. And again, we're not perfect. Obviously we're not perfect people, but at least my brother and I, we decided to do that, and I hope that when I share that with you on early Thursday afternoon, right before several hours before the selection show at 8 o'clock Thursday night, when I share all that info with you early Thursday afternoon, I really, really hope that you are going to find that super, super helpful and informative. If you're following along at home and you have plans of printing out a completed bracket like I will be doing, but if you also are keeping track at home based on, okay, well, what teams are going to be what seeds, generally speaking, if that's you at home, maybe you're wondering that, great news that I will be able to share that with you. And again, it's not going to be perfect. It might not be the actual result of what the committee is going to decide when the selection show airs Thursday night, but it's going to be a general guideline, so to speak, into what I think, or at least what I'm I'd say regarding all of that, I'd say I'd be about probably 65 to 70% sure that those scenarios are going to play out, all of those seed lines with all these teams. So again, this is something brand new that I thought of doing this year, and my brother also agreed, and I plan on doing that every single year moving forward. So again, please, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please do so down below so you do not miss out on any of this important information, because we are in the home stretch. And again, I know I mentioned this over the last month and a half, that I was super excited to be sharing brand new content with you, especially now that we are just about there into the national tournament. So again, if you have not already done so, please subscribe down below so you do not miss out on any of this information. In fact, man, these next few episodes that I have planned going into Thursday night, I am just super excited about, and I cannot wait to share all that content with you. So again, please make sure that you stay tuned for all of that. And then of course I'll be recapping all of the rounds of a national tournament, as long as all of the Crossroads League schools for both the men and the women stay in the national tournament hunt. I will be, of course, doing daily game recaps, going over all of that, and after each individual round, also recording a separate video showing my updated tournament bracket that I will print out, and how I've done all that good stuff. And just like I did last year, I definitely plan on doing that this year. So I am super psyched for what is to come over the next roughly about 3 weeks or so. Not quite three, roughly about 3.5 weeks. I mean, I'm super excited about these episodes coming up. And then, of course, once we get past the national tournament, my final episode recapping what happened in terms of the Crossroads League and where everybody finished, and going over a lot of those teams more specifically. So again, I am super psyched for what is to come over the next 3.5 weeks. So recapping the Crossroads League Tournament Championship game from last night, you had 2-seeded St. Francis at 1-seed Marion, and this was apparently, of course, I looked at the box score when I got up earlier this morning, and apparently it was a really good game. St. Francis at one point had a 10-point lead. Marion was able to come back from that and was able to pick up the win here, 72-65. And then apparently in the fourth quarter, we had Taylor Double, an excellent three-point shooter for Marion, apparently drilled a couple of threes to give them the lead. And then after that, Marion, iced the game at the free throw line. And then when they were up 5, with just a few seconds left, St. Francis went to inbound the ball, and Kenna Kirby intercepted it and ran it back the other way for a wide-open layup, and that officially iced the game for the Lady Knights. They go to 29-2 heading into the opening rounds of a national tournament, which they will be hosting. And in terms of the Crossroads League schools hosting the opening rounds of a national tournament, Marion will host, as well as St. Francis. And for the very first time in program history, Spring Arbor will be hosting the opening 2 rounds of a national tournament. So again, those are the 3 Crossroads League schools that will be hosting. Super excited about that, and I'm definitely glad that Spring Arbor is now going to be a host site. So looking at the stats for for St. Francis last night, they had some really good balanced scoring. At 18 points, leading the way was Renna Schweiderman, 18 points, 7 of 12 shooting, 1 of 3 from deep, 3 of 4 at the line. She had 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal. Julia Mantala did not score in 16 minutes of action, but she had 2 rebounds and a steal. And Samaya Stout off the bench, 25 minutes, so maybe Mantala got hurt. If that's the case, obviously I hope and pray that she gets back healthy soon, actually, it looks like she fouled out in 16 minutes, so yeah, that would make sense why Samaya Stout had to play the remaining 25 minutes because of Mantala fouling out. Samaya Stout off the bench, 6 of 8 shooting with 15 points on the night, 3 of 3 at the line, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. Allison Shue, 7 minutes of action, had a rebound, and Emma Royce, 7 minutes of action, 2 rebounds. Continuing on with the starters, you got 11 points for Taylor Fordyce, 3 of 7 shooting, 2 of 2 from deep, 3 of 6 at the line, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 block. You had 9 points for Isabella Gizzi, struggled shooting at 2 of 6, but she was 5 of 5 at the charity stripe, 3 rebounds, 2 assists for her. And then you had Callie Gregory, 12 points, 5 of 10 shooting, 5 of that was from beyond the arc. She also had 5 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 steals. Really good balanced numbers there. And St. Francis shot the ball excellent from the field at 51. They were okay from 3 at 35, and they were really good at the free throw line too, converting 14 out of 18 for 77%. And looking at the stats for the Lady Knights, Abby McNally, really no surprise here, 26 points, 13 rebounds, 11 of 16 shooting, 4 of 5 at the charity stripe, 1 assist, 3 steals, 1 blocks, really good balanced numbers there. Her sister Kylie with 6 points, struggled shooting at 3 of 10, but she had 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals. You got 12 points from Madison Bailey. Now 6 of the 12 were at the free throw line though, 3 of 6 shooting, 6 at the line, 2 rebounds, 3 assists for her. And then you had 16 points for Taylor Double, 6 of 12 shooting, 4-6 from beyond the arc, 3 rebounds, 2 assists for her. Olivia Faust did not score, but she had 1 rebound, 3 assists, a steal, and a block. And then off the bench, you had Aubrey Frank, 5 minutes of action, did not score. You had 5 points for Kennedy Coleman, 2 of 2 shooting, 1 of 1 at the line, 2 rebounds for her. Zoe Wheeler had a rebound and 2 assists in 12 minutes of action. Eva Fisher, 2 minutes of action, had a rebound. And then 7 points for Kenna Kirby, 2 of 8 shooting, 1 of 4 from deep, 2 of 2 at the line, 1 rebound, 4 assists, and 2 steals. And Marion shot 45% from the field, so really good. They were worse from 3, albeit by not a lot, at 29, and they were way better at the free throw line, converting 13 out of 14 for 92.9%. The other big difference in this game, they forced St. Francis into 18 turnovers, and Marion only had 9. So that made all the difference there. And Marion scored 19 points off of St. Francis's 18 turnovers, and St. Francis scored 14 points off of Marion's 9 turnovers, so pretty even in that category. Points in the paint, 36-32, favoring Marion. And fast break points, 8-6, favoring St. Francis. And St. Francis had the largest lead at 10. Marion, the largest lead at 7. That came in the last 30 seconds. So looking at the final, or not the final standings, but Marion going into the national tournament, 29-2. St. Francis, 27-4, heading into the national tournament. There'll be another host site next weekend. And then Spring Arbor, 22-7, heading into the national tournament for whoever they will be hosting next weekend. Bethel, 20-10 on the bubble. Huntington, 18-11 on the bubble. Indiana Wesleyan, 17-13. I stand corrected on the bubble. 17-13 for the Wildcats. 17-12 for Taylor, the last team on the bubble. And then Grace, 12-17, Mount Vernon, 8-20, and Goshen, 4-24. So those are a view of the updated standings there. And that is going to do it for recapping this video of the Cross League Tournament Championship game. So if you did find this video super helpful and informative, please either like, comment, or subscribe. Any one of those options helps me out greatly. I truly appreciate any feedback that you may provide me. And I do not see the updated RPI numbers listed. So if that is not listed here by roughly about 1 or 1:30, then I will be going over that tomorrow with you, as well as, I believe, the final ARC quad numbers. I believe they're both coming out tomorrow. If I do not see them posted by mid-afternoon tomorrow, then I for sure will be going over that with you on Thursday. And then, of course, I alluded to going over the brand new thing that I'm super, super excited about, and that is going over all of the teams that have clinched auto bids, all the teams that for sure have clinched at large bids, and going over all of the seed lines as well to go along with that. So I'm super, super excited about all of that and cannot wait to dive into that content. And again, thanks so much for tuning in to this video. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you. If I don't see you later this afternoon, I will see you for sure tomorrow going over the final RPI numbers, recapping the Cross League Tournament Championship game on the men's side. So again, make sure that you stay tuned for that. Thanks for tuning into this video. Have a great rest of your day, and God bless.